You create your own reality. I know it sucks. We hear it all the time, but it's true. So, whenever events happen to you, good or bad, we create these perceptions or stories around those events. And these stories end up dictating our lives. Take, for example, you're in first grade, you really want to try out for the school play, you want to be Frosty the Snowman, but you don't get the part, goes to Timmy. So now Timmy's the star. You don't get anything, and you have to watch him. And he's talking about how great he is all the time. And everybody loves Timmy because Timmy's the star of the show. Now, you could take this to mean that you're not good enough. You could take this to mean that you're not worthy. And maybe musical theater was a passion of yours that you really wanted to explore. Even though you're only in first grade, it's just there. It's in your blood. This is what you want. But now you don't try out again because every time you try out for another musical or you go to sign up, you see Timmy's name and you automatically assume he's going to get it. Or again, you mean it's not worth your time. You're not good enough. You're never going to get a part. So now you have dictated your whole life around one event. And I know this is a simple, stupid example, but this is where we're at. This is reality. We do this to ourselves all the time. We could take a more serious one. Maybe your mother didn't show you love in a moment when you needed it most. Maybe she didn't take care of you the way you needed to be taken care of. Now, it could just mean she just didn't know how. Maybe her mother didn't take care of her the right way, and she's doing the best she can. That's the adult answer. But as a child, you make it mean you're not worthy of love, or you're not worthy of your mother's love, or your mother doesn't love you. And you take these aspects further on into your life. I'm not worthy of a relationship. I'm not worthy of this job. I'm not even going to try for this thing that I want because I know I'm not going to get it. You are creating and shaping your reality on a day-to-day basis based upon some story you made up when you were a child. The very simplistic thing of this whole thing I'm talking about. And the reverse can go too. You could be making your life based around all the good stuff too. So maybe you're Timmy. Maybe you're getting this every school play from first grade all the way to high school, always getting the lead roles, thinking that you're the top dog and that you're never going to fail and that you're always going to be good enough. You become cocky. You become full of yourself. You become mean to others because you have this perception that you are now better than everyone else. And Timmy, you know who you are because you let this happen, right? Or this happened to you. You created a story around it. And now when you go to try to get something and it doesn't go your way, you start feeling negative and you spiral down because you've never had rejection before. So these can go good or bad. We can shape our reality both ways, right? But the most common one that people always focus on is the negative. And so if there's something in your life that you want to do, want to be, want to see, want to achieve, what does it take for you to get there? What do you need to do to get to that moment? And really look at that. Sit with yourself. And why aren't you applying for these jobs? Is it really you just don't have the experience, but you've always wanted to be a forensic scientist or an IT manager or insert whatever here? What is it going to take to get you there? Start at that level, work towards your goal, work towards what you want, make the reality that you want. And that's going to take time, money, and energy. That's just how it is. And so, how much of that are you worth to yourself? How much time, money are you willing to invest in yourself? What can you do to change the stories that you have been living with your entire life? If there's something in your life that needs to be changed, work towards changing it. It's not going to always happen overnight. It's not always going to be a quick fix. It just isn't. If you want to be some great singer out there, maybe you need voice lessons. That's okay. That's going to take time. That's going to take money. That's going to take energy. Are you willing to put in for that? Are you willing to go and change those stories? Going back to the early silly example of Timmy, like you were that person who didn't get the role and decided you didn't want to try out anymore because you weren't good enough. Where else has that not being good enough been reflected in your life? Relationships, jobs? Where is that impacting you? Or is everything in your life perfect except for your goal to be on stage one day? So truly sit with that and realize that we create everything around us. We create this reality with our actions and the stories that we create from our actions or lack of actions. It doesn't have to be this way. If there's something you truly want, if there's something you truly desire, what is it going to take for you to get there? I mean, the sky's the limit. We are all nothing but computer code in a universe filled with code. We can rewrite so much stuff. And again, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a quick fix. You can't just wish it into existence on a fly. Sometimes you can, but sometimes you got to take steps to get to that moment. So truly sit with that and think about what it is that you're not doing with your life that you want to. What are the hangups that you have been holding back on because of something that happened to you when you were in first grade or second or kindergarten? Insert timeline here. But think about that and then really look at why you're not trying to do what you want to do. And there could be valid reasons for it, but maybe there's alternatives to what you can do. Maybe you always wanted to be a dancer, but now you're in a wheelchair. Got it. What else could you do that's similar? Maybe there's some other way of working around that. Don't know. You would have to look. So just think about that. You create your reality. You and you alone are the one who can change it, or the one who can make it better.